sticking straight up. I don't know the angle yet. I have to increase the size of the blade for sure.
What's up, guys? Sorry about that. We are back on air.
From there, there's a poking light and a mister. So there's like oozes down. We have moss decorated all over the place. And maybe some mushrooms or something to bring it over the top, make it feel like it's been here for a long time, and look epic and inviting. Now, all the viewers and all the people at the show will be coming from that side, coming in. We've tried to recreate the size and group that we're going to have, the world of country that's given us. So that part, I'm going to make people forget about Sean and come straight to me. And the only way I think I can do that is with something truly that strikes in people's hearts. I have a feeling that a lot of people watch that same movie or went to Disneyland and have that same experience and want to rekindle that little childhood heart. So let me know how you think we're doing. I'll give this over to Dan and let Sean know how he's doing. Also, let me know if we should do a bigger sword or not.
Also, I learned the issue. It doesn't charge while it's live streaming. The thing stops. It's back on air now, but once it stopped, it began charging. So
it just stays.
Yeah, like it just
stays at 1%.
Yeah.
So it's maintained.
But when it's not live streaming, it actually charges.
Gotcha.
That's the thing. Yeah.
Okay. So I guess the question is how is what do we want to? I think it's still a good idea to work around and like literally carry this around and still do some movements and shots and like bring it over there, get some more talking. Because one thing that is missing is like the check-ins right now.
Yeah.
So we're doing the live, which is great. Right now it's static, but like in between her lives on the other socials, you guys got to walk together and do a reintroduction. What's the point of why like we have the other cameras?
Yeah.
Because we were just getting the exact same shot, it didn't matter. But we're gonna have to do a million check-ins on a 2-hour basis.
Yeah.
They're all new people.
Yeah. Okay.
Right?
Because if somebody has a question, say, during a live stream, and you guys are busy working away or talking to the audience members, and they have a question for you guys, you can comment that. Okay, yeah, you wouldn't mind? Okay.
No, I want that. Yeah. That's part of the stream. Is like, we're going to the show to get as many questions as possible.
Yeah.
Some of those questions are on that, which is better.
Okay.
If you know the answer, then hey, we can double check that. They're using their own matrix and then we do our or recording results, like any other random questions that come up.
Perfect.
You for sure answer those.
Because do you guys have like a mapped out script, and do you guys like to go off the top of your dome?
All right,
it's
gotta be. A little bit hurtful that I had to set up my own welding rig where we didn't have We didn't have a ground, we didn't have a whip, we didn't have power. So I had to make my own of each of those.
Mine while you were chatting.
Feels like I was working from behind a little bit. Alright. I would catch it up.
So I started with the mapping, and now you're able to sort of get that shape. So I've gone vertically on these tubes here, and now I want to kind of go horizontally. I know that I want that mystic feel, that water element, so I know that I want to utilize some of our misters, whether we did last year, a bit of moss work, do a little bit of tree work.
are you one to go gambling ever? Or no?
I've done it. I never won anything.
Yeah.
I'm pretty positive I never, I'm a full believer in manifesting what your reality is through action. And I'm also a full believer that the house always works.
Yeah.
And so why work so hard for every dollar given to somebody that is not deserving?
Well, it is an addiction. So.
It is a... Dead air. Great Andrew there. Introduce yourself, who you are, what you're doing, what we're doing. Get that practice now because at this point in the stream, the chance of somebody like watching you from the beginning is super rare.
Yeah.
This is where you get to have those reps.
Okay.
Without worry. I guarantee there's either 0 or 1 person watching, and future time 0 people are watching. So.
Okay.
This is just for rep and practice right now.
Okay. Yeah, just don't judge me too hard.
Never.
What's up, guys? It's Robert here with Rob Escapes in Canada. We're just doing some prep for the World of Concrete event on, it was January 20th?
What's that?
20th to 23rd, was it?
20th to 25th, I think we have all.
Yeah. So make sure you guys come check us out then. We'll be live streaming the entire event. 3 full days of awesomeness, so don't miss it out. Sorry, I keep sniffling. Do you know if, I'll look this up when I get home. Is there a way we can possibly have 2 GoPros connected to the live stream? Or is that too much?
I think it would be great for switching out.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll see if it's a possibility.
Bring the white mic.
Who brings a white mic
We just have...
to the concrete event?
Yeah. Legit. You're not going to be white
I
on.
said, let's see this guy at the end of it.
Yeah, exactly.
I have a black one with me if you want it.
You know what? I
Yeah?
want to see how white I can keep it. Okay,
All right.
Robert?
Yeah.
Sorry, best of
I
luck.
believe.
I believe I can. My emotional support.
So that's right. For TikTok, it's constantly requesting people, obviously all lives, we're constantly requesting people to their life. Check out some of the viral videos that have been happening. Follow.
Hi everyone on TikTok. If you're tuning in, we're live in chat. We are building some awesome structures for the World of Concrete taking place January 20th to January 23rd. I just showed you Sean's build. And we're gonna have this now. If you are new to our TikTok channel, if you just came along or live, make sure to check us out. We have some crazy videos. Well, have you ever seen a rock cut like this? Go check them out. Yeah, but we're over at getting a lot more projects now. Hope everyone can hear me. Say hi.
Hello.
Ask any questions for Patrick.
Fast pad, correct quick.
Yeah.
Keep it going.
Seems to be catching up, and all of a sudden he's worried.
Exactly.
That's all right.
I'm gonna peek over to Robert. Hey, Robert.
Hello, hey guys.
Hi, that's our videographer,
First,
Robert.
first time on camera here. Hello, I'm Robert.
Hello, this is the TikTok world.
Oh, hello TikTok.
We got the whole team here. Well, not the whole team, but most of the team. And exciting stuff happening. We're so excited for Vegas. 17-day countdown, I think.
17 and
It's
under.
coming fast.
Yes, it
We're
is.
going to be in Vegas January 20th to 23rd at the World of Concrete. So if you are in Vegas or going to the show, make sure you stop by. We'd love to talk, say hi, show you what's been going on, answer any questions. Yeah, it's going to be an amazing time. Thanks for joining and thanks for tuning in to our live. I'll show you around and show you some more action.
You're quite the natural at that. It's
Am
really
I?
good, yeah.
Am I?
Yeah, seriously.
I'm just pretending to talk as if I'm talking to my friends.
Yeah,
You're all my friends.
Yeah.
Everyone's a big family on the web.
Exactly. Everybody says that the internet's like the kindest place for
Totally.
meeting friends, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so comment, say hi, like,
Say whose looks like a rock yet.
even let us know whose rock piece are you excited to see more? The Sword in the Stone, Patrick, or the Rapunzel Tower in the Mountains by Sean. These are two epic pieces that I cannot wait to see.
I also feel like at one point I'd like to record you guys talking about why you made this effort to grow your YouTube channel.
Oh,
That'd be kind of cool for a video.
yeah. Immortalized.
On YouTube. So don't worry. I'll show again just another peek at what we're going off of. Sword and Stone for Patrick. And Rapunzel Tower in the Mountain. These are pretty big. What's the size of the pallet here?
This is a 4x4.
4x4 we're working with.
So we're doing a slightly larger grid just so that we're not wasting too much effort on this. We still have a timeline.
And we have to ship these out to Vegas.
Exactly.
Don't forget anything.
The rules are the rules. But guys?
Watch your eyes, guys.
Oh. We're having a night.
There we go.
Also, I know that since we're on long form, we can also go live on short form YouTube as well. So,
Yeah, if you guys aren't subscribed to our YouTube channel, also it's at Rockscapes. Please go check us out on YouTube. That's where we're streaming live the entire time. We're streaming from now until the end of the show. You'll get all the behind the scenes. The entire trip will be a long form video posted to our YouTube channel. Please go follow and subscribe. That means the world to us.
Robert,
Yeah.
one of the things I think would be great for you to talk on live
Yep.
is what you actually know. So we'd be like, project I'm working on right now, if you're on YouTube, I've edited all the videos.
Okay.
Best part is literally the video you're working on.
Yeah.
You could talk about the video you're working on, so that you're talking about something that you are comfortable with,
Yeah.
excited about doing. And I would like, maybe you could talk about the previous video and the upcoming video.
Okay.
Or the videos you're working on.
See, that's how I'd feel natural. If I talked about this, it'd be imposter syndrome.
Exactly. So talk about what you're physically doing.
Yep.
And then if people are on YouTube that are actually asking questions better, be like, want to know what you guys want to see more of. This is the build, this is the the B-roll after the fact, is it, like, those are the questions that you get to ask those things, right?
Okay.
That's the best part about the live, is that the live is purely about the conversation with the community.
Yeah. Okay.
That is just staring at nothing.
Yeah. You're right. You're right.
Come on, everybody.
She's tuned in.
We are bringing you along every step of the way. Because we're going to be from one of a kind.
What's up, guys? I'm Rob. I'm the editor and videographer for Rockscapes of Canada. And I'll be recording the entire live stream in Vegas in about 17 days from now. And really hope you guys check it out. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be such a fun event. If you're coming to Vegas, make sure you stop by our space. And if you can't make it, that's fine too. Just make sure you tune into our live stream, where we will be showing you the full process of how we make our artificial rock and things like that. As the editor, I am currently working on a nice 40th anniversary video for these two. Because if you didn't know, Rockscapes has been going strong for 40 years. 40 years this year, or I guess last year now. Happy New Year. So. And for those tuning in for the first time, we are doing some preparation for the World of Concrete event in 17 days. A lot of things can go wrong, so we're making sure that everything's working perfectly and flawlessly to make sure we avoid any conflict or issues we run into. Here is Patrick working on his armature right now at the moment. Looking great so far.
Hey Sean, did you hear?
And over here is Sean's side.
You have to sign a waiver. On the move.
Yeah. You want to tell the audience what you're doing right now?
Okay, so right now I've finished mapping out my boulder, and now the whole point is that I have to create my structure and I have to create all of these linear patterns, vertical and horizontal patterns, that I can tie my lath to. So the lath is what the concrete sticks onto, right? Right now, if I try to throw a bunch of mud on this, I'm either going to make a very heavy solid rock and use 10,000 times the amount of material, as when I actually put my lath on, it creates like a form that my concrete can stick to and allow me to have it a lightweight, only 10 pounds a square foot total. So a big part of this is I'm creating my grids first on the main boulder, and then I want to see how my small boulders actually interact. So I will finish this big boulder, finish off all the small boulders, including the step, and then after that, even more difficult is I have to then create a bowl, or a spot that a bowl can sit in, and a crevice in the top that my sword can stick in. I gotta find the position, but I want to see the boulder as a whole before I know what this thing, where it should actually be. I gotta let the rock talk to me a little bit, and I gotta determine that final spot. But I have to do it before the end of the day. So I got a very short period of time before I figure that out.
And did you say what's the approximate weight that this will be finished?
This thing should be, let's see, 4 by 4.
Remember guys, this is artificial fake rock, but it's still concrete. So it's still gonna have some weight.
Yeah, everything included, this should be about 750 pounds.
750 pounds.
Which is going to be a lot of hand drum mixing at the show. So if you also feel like volunteering and becoming a mixer for the day, you let us know. We're happy to let you mix for us.
Yes, we need mixers. Mixers.
Do math. Do math.
Professional guesstimate.
Sean, how goes your progress so far?
Progress is good. Starting to think about where the water's going to come out of. Starting to finish my mapping of the smaller boulders and how that's going to interact. And, you know, I got to think about splash as well. We got a bit of the, like we know that the tower is going to be 30 inches and about that in diameter at the bottom. So I want it to come out of the rock. It should come to about here. But it would be nice if I had some waterfall and some mist coming out of this hole and going around it and maybe pooling next to it over here. I think that would kind of set a cool look and feel. And then obviously we're going to bring a bunch of moss and little greenery bits to just really, you know, level it up. I think the levels, the different layers that you put on there are one of the key things that you can do when it comes to the art of concrete. You know, it's not just the concrete.
Huh. And will you be bringing the finished project home with you, or are you going to throw that away in Vegas?
I think they're going to toss it. I don't think they're going to let me put it on and carry on. But, you know, now that we're talking about it and we're getting that dialogue, maybe there's like a local I don't know, library or something where they have a playground and the kids, you know, if there's not too much red tape and too many hoops to go through, I think that's a real option that maybe it could bring somebody some fun.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah. I mean, the McDonald's next to the convention center has artificial rock, so somebody's got to want this thing out front. Come pick it up. It's free.
Garage is open.
that pointing at anything other than outside?
I think you're on the, yeah, you're in it.
Okay. That's,
Just different angle.
okay.
It's actually a pretty cool angle.
Cool. That's right. Are you able to see numbers for how YouTube's doing?
It says there's one watching, and that's me.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was like, hi!
Yeah.
But I'm wondering if it shows complete number of yours.
No.
No, don't record
I'll
it.
record it.
That was good. I think you have to go in the studio. Yeah.
Someone commented though, you both win. You both win.
I see it for sure. Yeah.
Well, there's gonna be enough room, and there's gonna be enough room for,
I'm shocked you gave yourself an madness to me that you gave yourself an underhand. Yeah. Ooh, buddy.
they're gonna be like, and this was the moment
Yeah.
where I screwed up.
Yeah. Exactly. Okay.
You and Sean
Yeah.
for the thumbnail of kind of maybe drawing over the drawing board,
Sure. That works for me.
something like that.
Yeah. And,
Hey guys, Robert here with Rodscapes of Canada. I'm the editor and videographer, and we're doing some preparation here for our time at World of Concrete, a 3-day event. Be sure to check it out, and if you're going to be there in person, be sure to stop by our space, and if not, you could always just tune into our live stream. We'll be recording the entire event, full day thing, 3 days. It's going to be amazing. Competition, games, just so many fun activities, so make sure you check it out. I clipped myself on camera and I was like this.
never look directly in there. You're pouring. I'm worried about when I lock each time I went on camera. There's a lot less footage for you guys.
No, that's your little cup.
Oh, okay. pretty sure I've seen it as a dog bed.
My dog does use it as a bed. But that's perfect.
Too funny. How's my phone done? 39, not bad.
Pretty good.
Cabbage fell emptied in the kitchen, sure. And there. Well, it definitely won't last today. So charging is going to be the biggest. Battery is going to be one of the biggest things.
Yeah.
Coordinating battery.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Alright. What time did it say what? 2?
That seashell transition from the dyno did it. Am I just doing the same one? So I zoomed in on the Sean and Patrick,
Go.
and then I'm gonna zoom in while we're in Vegas.
Alright.
It's gonna be cool.
Yeah, I want to see a couple more down at the good ones where we're doing whole from kind of GoPro stuff when they're happy.
Yeah.
But that's like short. It's similar, like with this plan and everything.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to go back next week, deliver some stuff. So hopefully this gets plan or something.
Hopefully they can tell them to do something with the ice skate.
Yeah. Otherwise, I might get like a big shot of me playing in the big trip.
It was like me sleeping away and yeah, that might be a good one.
So we may need a bigger or better GoPro mic. That's my one concern.
Okay.
Because when it's up close, it sounds great, but I'm just trying to factor in all the people walking by,
Yeah.
and you guys being pretty far apart.
Well, that's why I have this one.
That whole, there is,
Okay.
that is a mic attachment.
Yeah.
There might be a GoPro for the lives Like I'm not necessarily, because you'll be up close when we're actually wanting them to hear us.
Yeah.
And that's why you're filming with the other stuff for the full of the video.
Yeah. So you just care about the visuals for the GoPros. That's
care about the visuals, and then the up close interviews, check-ins, like that. What was it, like diary moments where you can come up and talk. Essentially, the plan and the goal is that if nobody else is talking, which is like last year was insane, so can you picture that?
Mm-hmm.
So there's just no dead air. It's like we're always talking about something. And if somebody's asking interesting questions, the people online might be actually interested in that too.
Okay.
If we're having to do a little bit more extra work and figure that part out, it's just there's going to be more running around between the two of you guys. That's it.
Because I'm curious, like, if I bring my laptop, set it by a desk, that way I can walk by my laptop, check the screen, check the comments, or else I'm walking with my phone, my camera, the GoPro at the same time.
Yeah. No, we had our laptop there last year.
Okay.
At a table. So like you're picking one of these tables, and Rihanna will help with that because one, we got the map, and two, you got your mini challenges planned. So it's like the coordination of you might not get to use the same table every day or all day.
Yeah.
You might have to switch it out. And go about it that way. The reality of that. Turn on that fan. It's a little noisy here, but I gotta get the one I gotta
I was in bed. I'm always in my bed in bed. You do like a big kind of ball drop?
water cooler.
Hey guys, if you're joining in now, we're doing some preparation for the World of Concrete event. And just 17 days from now, we are building armatures and making a little fun, competition out of it. We got Patrick's over here, and then all the way back there, we got Sean's, and they are looking fantastic so far. And if you're curious about the person talking right now, hey guys, my name is Rob. I'm the editor and videographer for Rockscapes. I will be accompanying them on the trip to Vegas in 17 days from now. Can't wait. And yeah, if you can't make it to the event, make sure to, it's totally fine. Tune into our live stream. We'll be recording for the entire day, or 3 days that we have there. Just fun activities, games, educational talks. It'll be so much fun. So make sure you guys check it out. And if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, Rockscapes of Canada. That would mean a lot to us, and it also mean a lot to me as the editor of those videos, which I put a lot of time into. I really appreciate if you check them out. And yeah, everything's going well so far. So far so good. We've run into a few issues with our GoPros and maintaining the battery, but that's all part of the experience. This is all a practice run for what's to come. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you. Baby steps.
What do you think? Are you updating?
Yeah, or just like for new people to say what we're doing, who we are, talk about the channel, how much it would mean to me if you check out the videos.
YouTube, yeah. Subscribe.
Yeah. But I'm gonna map out or like create a little not script, but like a general script of ideas to jump on and decide when while we're there, which should help.
Yeah, always mention, hey, if you're in Vegas, always mention the fact that now we're giving these away.
Yeah.
How do you want this in your Vegas mansion? Okay, so.
Right, we can play on that. Like, give it away. You're up where we're giving away $6,000.
How much?
So this would probably be
60?
6.
Oh,
6,000?
And that would probably be like 8. Okay.
see that's if I could have that in my
I know, if I had the money I would totally
I would put this in my backyard.
Well, like you would use those when in the description.
Yeah.
And like if you're building this for a client, you're looking at $8,000 somewhere in that range.
Yeah.
Based on the type of material.
Okay.
You guys both always been so, I guess, artistically inclined from a young age?
John was.
Yeah.
All over the top of it.
A lot.
Yeah, classic.
I'm not used to it.
You know what's ironic? Because he's like smoking in like 20 meters. I'm like, why are you killing me? Let's leave that up for a minute. No. I don't even know why we didn't want to do this part, I'm sure.
Yeah. Is anyone commenting, Robert?
It seems like nobody's watching at the moment.
I'm gonna reshare a story saying that we're live on YouTube.
That's a good idea. Also, would love it, like, the next thing you did was want to check in with them.
Okay.
With that, we will walk through back and forth, and then after the check-in, doing YouTube short vlog.
Actually, like, if you're kind of a promoter yourself, so,
Yeah.
like, I just want to get started with making silicone molds out of your average Home Depot silicone. Later on, we're doing headshot carving. Make sure you stay tuned. Now let's check in with you guys. Something every single day. You know, that should be like your start, like your hook.
Yeah.
Set it up each 15 minutes.
Okay. Okay.
And basically recap.
Yeah.
But also, we should practice like the time check-in, so like, I don't know what time it actually is.
2:11.
2:11.
2 hours, we talked about it. It was almost like every 15,
Yeah.
20 minutes.
So it's like you're on the stump and it's part of the live. Like everybody, there's 1 hour left. 1 hour left for the day. Finish up your rebar. Right? We'll have that on both camera and on the live.
Okay.
Yeah, because you don't want, otherwise you don't want to be just talking for the sake of time. Maybe you can fill most of that time with just, filler.
Yeah. Okay.
Testing. Hello, hello, hello. Testing. Hello.
So far,
Yep, absolutely.
try attaching to your sweater.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. All good like that.
Maybe like wide coast to, go to YouTube and show you bringing it.
Yeah.
3, 2. Okay, so for why we went for YouTube and why we're doing such a big push and why we're so committed to it is because unlike the other social media platforms, things will change the way now. Those feel like very in the moment updates and short lasting, the flavor of the week. Whereas YouTube feels like we're creating like real assets that are meant to stay for the life of us. Since we've been here for 40 years, and we plan to be here for a lot more than 40 years in the future, we want to make sure that we have long-lasting assets that stand the test of time. That's why we're committed to telling the story. That's why we're committed to getting the right footage, trying our best to share with you that whole journey. Right? We want to show future and past clients the ability to be proud and share their work, the work that they've had done. We wanted to make sure to have that ability to showcase it to future clients so they understand what the process will be, what it's like to work with us, some of the benefits, and like how it lasts the test of time. And the fact that they can feel comfortable with allowing us to both film and share and talk about our work experience. That's our biggest reason why we keep going all in on YouTube. Views don't really matter to us. They'd be great. We would love if we get 1 million views on something. That would be wonderful. But really what we care about is that if we can share this with families, friends, clients, and honestly, employees, let them know that they can learn from us, that they can count on us, and they're always able to come and tune in and check out how we build what we build. Thank you.
Yep, so perfect. Thanks.
Wonderful.
So is this
Yeah, it's the one.
streaming?
Yeah.
And it can't be picked up yet?
It can, unless you got to use this thing.
Okay.
Because it doesn't charge while it's live streaming.
Oh,
Once we turn the stream off, it'll start charging again. But it's just stuck at 1%. For the last
Okay.
hour, it's been stuck at 1%.
okay. So, sorry, I can't walk around.
No, you're watching. You're doing that live. Okay, cool. Yeah.
Live.
You can do YouTube live.
I can do it. This is.
Yeah.
So I just left,
Yeah.
and then live,
Yeah.
and then training now, right?
Yeah.
Right. And then now I see this.
Now you're on the shore. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, won't cancel out. Just watch out for a second.
Yep.
I got a couple things. Sparks are bad.
What happened? What? What's wrong? Perfect. Why, what do you got?
What's up, guys? If you're tuning in for the first time, we're doing a little live stream preparation for the World of Concrete event in 17 days from now. We got Sean's rock so far, just the rebar armature set up right there. Looking great so far. And then right over here, we've got Patrick's, also looking great. He's just cutting at the moment, but make sure you guys check into our live stream on the 20th, where we'll be showing, it'll be a 3-day event that we're hosting, where we'll be having a little competition of, who can build the best rock. That's sort of what this is right here, sort of a little practice test, just making sure nothing goes wrong during our full 3-day live stream, which, bad things tend to happen, so let's keep our fingers crossed.
Design
But,
concept, so you get an idea
there's Patrick so far, and then just over here,
of what
we got Sean.
they are working with. So this is Sean's design concept. He's going for the Rapunzel Tower type fantasy mountain look with a mister on the side. There's going to be mist, waterfall. And then Patrick's over here, he's going for the sword in the stone type look. This being the base of the sword or the handle. So these are going to be 2 super impressive projects.
Sorry.
So let's go talk to Patrick and Sean and see how they've come along so far.
How you doing? Okay, so far I've gotten everything mapped out. I have the majority of my main folder, one of the stories actually is taken in. That's almost done. That. And that's done. Then I have to run all the small folders. There's actually a lot of small tabs. It's a little bit annoying, but it's the only way that I feel like I can completely hide all of our pallets. So I'm not going to be taking the rock off the pallet. I got to get this thing just, and there's another rule that I have to take everything get on the pallet. It's so easy to get the foot upside down. But all these small boulders inside one boulder. A big part of that means that all of these boulders have to fit into each other. But it'd be very good at abstract texture to make sure everything's just on top of the ground. I could actually start tying after this. I think we have 1 hour left of today's competition, and then that's all that you run. The rest is going to be seen at Vegas live. Very, very excited to ship it out on the 20th, and we're heading out, and we're going to be there every single day until the 25th, and we head home. We decided that if somebody wants a ready pickup, we're literally going to give it up. And if we were charging a customer for these things, they could probably be on $2,000. Just to ship these things are going to be well over $2,000. We even have our giant speaker stump over here that we just carved yesterday. And so this is super fresh, hasn't been made in 6 weeks. ones where it has some deep and have some like underhand, that would be the downfall. The design of has struggled to.
Okay, let's go check on Sean, see how he's holding up.
Will get you no mercy. No mercy, bro.
You want to tell the audience how you're feeling about this so far?
Feeling pretty good. It's kind of interesting because we said in the beginning we weren't going to do like limits on material, but Patrick cut us like the exact same amount.
The door's open. We live in Canada. It's freezing. I'm trying my best here.
But you know, it would be interesting if at this stage when I'm almost out of material, it'd be like, okay, well, you have to make do. You know, that would kind of be a neat wrinkle maybe for next year.
We see you. Hello.
But yeah, feeling pretty good. Pretty much got all my structure almost done. And putting some final touches in. Then the next will be the mesh. Now normally we would do like an 8-inch grid. But you know, this thing is already going to be really, really strong. It doesn't really have to go, you know, 40 years the way that we normally would. And I think in that climate, even if somebody picks this up, it's probably still going to go 40 years. Like it's built very, very strong.
And when it comes to crafting artificial rock, what would you say is your favorite part?
I like the art of it. I like to tell a story, and I just like how versatile, you know, the products can be and the different uses. Because obviously we've done, you know, since you've been here, we've done zoos, we've done museums, we've done science centers, we've done interior spaces, homes, and commercial. So I mean, it's niche, but at the same time, there's space everywhere for it, right? So it's kind of interesting. It's not like, you know, today's a zoo job and tomorrow's a zoo job. It's like you never know. You never know where you're gonna put something like this. So it's kind of fascinating.
And when did you begin calling yourself an artist?
Hello.
I don't know if I have yet.
Really?
Have I?
I mean, you're definitely an artist. I would.
Yeah, maybe. I'll let you know when I start.
All right, there's Sean so far. It's looking great. Let's go see Patrick's.
I'm over at Sean.
Patrick, how you feeling so far?
So far, so good. I'm a little worried about the timeline. I think we have an hour left of the day. I've got our main boulder done. I don't have my spot for water or the crevice for the sword. And I don't have the boulders that are surrounding it done yet. Not gonna lie, I feel a little bit panicked and a little bit hungry. So I'm gonna have to keep snacking and keep going. Take it one little boulder at a time. It's whatever we can get done. So if we can't get it done, it doesn't get to go to the show. And that is a panic feeling. So we gotta step it up. I have a lot of rebar left, so now Sean's ahead of me. And that is both terrifying and mystifying. And I'm starting to regret a little bit bending everything by hand versus him using the machine. Because frankly, after the holiday and all that I ate during the holiday, I'm feeling a little out of shape. And I'm definitely recovering from a cold. That does not help. Actually, everybody, including Robert, not Rhiannon, she's the only one that hasn't been sick yet.
So far.
I feel like after today, surrounded by sick people, she's probably gonna get sick.
Yeah.
And if she doesn't, well done. Anyways, having a great time building it. It's fun to build as a competition. Normally we're fully collaborative, but when you're collaborating, sometimes you feel like you're giving up part of your vision to make the overall thing work. Now, I don't necessarily think that Sean and I usually we build off of each other and it just gets bigger and better. But the fact that we get to build our own fully separate things. There is no way in a million years I thought Sean was going to make a diorama for this competition. But the fact that he is, I'm super excited to see what he does. I think he had a lot of fun with the fairy tree. He really wanted to create something like that again. If you haven't seen it, the fairy tree is one of our first, I think it might be our very first or second YouTube video that we ever did. Don't worry, like we are no longer editing the videos, so if you do check that out, our quality has gone significantly higher, but it's still worth checking out because the final product is super cool.
So I wanted to ask as well, Sean couldn't answer, when did you begin calling yourself an artist?
I would say I started calling myself an artist probably 2019, 2020, somewhere in that lines, where people started expecting me to have a similar time frame or a similar color palette or options as you would think about construction. What I didn't like, and what I found that I was having trouble describing when people thought we were in construction, was that they were like, oh, we're gonna pick paint. And I remember a specific client, fantastic client, but the coloring, they were like, here's my wallpaper or my drywall swatches. This is the color I want. And when we paint concrete, when we stain concrete, it all reacts totally different. That's the best part about it. And so when we gave a color sample and saying like, here's your color sample, in such a small thing, she thought that there was no variances and that she was getting a static, almost white rock, which wasn't something. And I realized, okay, until you start describing it as what it is, which is an interpretive art and natural art, you cannot account for all the variances for the end client or for them to visualize or understand that it's a process, right? Like even when you're putting up drywall or doing anything, they're all very repeatable. And so people understand, even a layman understands what it looks like to put up studs in drywall. Whereas doing steel structure, abstract steel structures, even most welders would have no idea what the heck we're doing. Even most rebar tires would have no idea what we're doing. Even most plasters that would use the lathe would have no idea. They would have an element of understanding, but they couldn't understand the entirety of it. And so by explaining that it's actually an art, it helps people understand that one, it's an internal vision, an internal feeling on what this needs to look like, and it also reassures people on the amount of effort that we're going to put in. People don't put in small amounts of effort or feelings for their art, but they will feel repetitive and not when they're doing basics, basic construction workers. People, even though they are working hard, they're not counting on them to put in their heart and soul, blood, sweat, and tears into each piece. Whereas we live in, an artist lives and dies by its last piece. And so we need to make sure every piece is our fantastic last piece. And so that's where I started figuring out and justifying it. And I think I was hallucinating after like 96 hours working in like 40-degree heat, when I was like, I don't see any construction workers out here doing that, but I do it for my art. And I think that's the difference. It's not necessarily discipline, it's not necessarily a work ethic. It's like you just wouldn't do it for something that didn't feel like a passion piece for you. That's a long-winded answer, but I gotta keep bending. I see Sean smiling because he knows that I'm gonna fall behind again.
That was amazing. I wish I got it on my camera or something. That was perfect.
Well, you should be able to pull that.
Yeah, I will. Should I grab some water?
Yeah.
You want anything?
No. Okay. Yeah, the exact amount. Alright. And I'm done.
I also want to ask if you guys might have any photographs of the gate in Quebec City.
Oh yeah, there is. Yeah, it's actually on the mid-box. Just sitting on her desk. Okay. That's why I was like, when he was talking about it, it was just sitting there. I was like, hey, they're here.
Yeah. There was a severe lack of those photos in the interviews. So.
Totally. Turn slides go okay? Oh yeah. Fine, right. Oh, that's really good. As soon as you're done that, it should be like 30-minute countdown. Jump up on that and rubber will spin over. And you'll want to get that on your regular camera.
Okay. Got it.
Okay. We're not. Yeah. 30-minute countdown for the YouTube live, and so that's we have it for our form video, and even if we're a little longer than that, we get our other shots like photo, video,
What's up, guys? This is Robert from Rockscapes of Canada. If you're tuning in for the first time, we're doing a little competition in preparation for the World of Concrete, which will be in 17 days from now. If you can't make it in person, no worries, have no fear. We're actually going to be live streaming the entire event. So make sure you check us out on YouTube at Rockscapes of Canada. And also, I'm the editor and videographer. And I would really appreciate if you guys checked out our YouTube channel. I put a lot of effort into those videos, and it also showcases just the full step-by-step process of how these guys build and what makes this company so special. So be sure to check that out as well. So right now what we're doing is a little competition. As I said before, in preparation, we're doing the steel armatures. We've got Patrick right here, looking great, and then we got Sean all the way over here. Building artificial rock, and it is going to look fantastic, so make sure you guys stick around for more.
Yep, we're good.
The 30-minute countdown?
Yeah. So, if you want to jump on the speaker stuff?
Jump on the speaker stuff?
Yeah. And we'll get your shot of her too.
Yeah, it was a full rotation, right? Just
What?
what was the idea here? Is it like
30
a full
minute,
rotation?
30-minute countdown for competition today for the stream.
Woo. Hey everyone, hope you can see me. We are at the 30-minute countdown mark for today, the structure build. So 30 minutes to go. Let's see how much they can get done. Woo!
And so the stream will end with like final thoughts how we did, what we have left to do before the show, and like a reminder of what's going on.
bunch of backup engine storage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there a bathroom here, or do I have to go to the office? Oh, phew.
This is 3 years ago. We're about 10 years into the porta potty. Building everything separate, the ground is removed, and then it's that. Very frustrating.
So can I be like, what a day. So starting at just after 11 today, we had empty house.
Yeah.
And now we have these structures. Lots of progress made.
Yep.
And then kind of final notes.
Yeah, then they were like, let's check in with starting the speaker stuff again because your check in or like the beginnings of yours on the live will be either on the speaker stuff, sitting on the speaker stuff. You don't have to be standing up
Okay.
on it, like you could however it works, right?
Yep.
And then we're like, because also on top of everything, there's gonna be many challenges we have to talk about and go through and like what we're doing. And there's also thousands of people that are doing that. Terrifying amount of in one day.
Yeah.
So we'll have to be stricter on timelines.
Yep.
So like the hour check-in, half an hour check-in, 15-minute check-in. Pencils
So
down.
I don't have a watch, but
Yeah.
I'll have a
Right,
time
little
tracker.
beeper on
I got you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then and at the end of those 2 hours for the live, coming in and they're like, all right, show us how we did what we did. We got 2 more hours. I think you're gonna be able to do it. Done. We're working overtime tonight, like what time sort of thing. After this, then at the end of the day, it has to be a little full.
Hey guys, if you're tuning in now, we're having a little competition here. We are building these steel armatures, which will eventually look like beautiful artificial rock, which I'm sure you will have trouble deciphering from, fiction from reality when you see it. That's what these guys specialize in, and they are fantastic. So here's Patrick's armature so far, looking great. And here's Sean's over here. Yeah, and what is this for, you may be asking? This is for the World of Concrete, which will be in 17 days from now. Which, if you guys will not be there in person, I really recommend tuning into our live stream where we'll be showcasing the entire 3-day event. You will not want to miss it. There's going to be games, there's going to be educational talks. You're not going to want to miss it, so make sure you're there. And it'd mean a lot to me if you guys decided to, check into our YouTube channel, Rock Skits in Canada. I am the editor and videographer, and put a lot of work into the videos. And not only are they, really engaging, but they also get to show you guys step by step how these guys operate, which is just fantastic to witness. So definitely check us out for Rock Skits in Canada on YouTube. Yeah, sure.
Hey everyone. So if you see me on this stump, that means I'm going to say something important, okay? So right now we're in the final countdown of day 1 of the artificial rock live concrete car. We're in the last 30-minute countdown. So they've been working since this morning. They started with empty pallets, and now they have structures, and these are going to be magnificent pieces. So yeah, anytime I'm on here, I'm going to say something that you should probably hear. If you see me when you're in Vegas, come say hello, come let me know if you want to talk to Patrick and Sean, and we'll set something up. But we're going to take you to the final reveal of their structures once they're done in the last 30 minutes. So yeah, we'll just let them finish, but it's going to be a great day.
So when's the last time you guys got to work side by side like this?
John and I usually divide and conquer, so, but we always, Wonderland, we work side by side for a couple days. We usually like help each other out. We like for our relief for each other. If we need an extra hand, that, you know, when you're like, I wish I had a clone of myself. I can do what I do, think what I think, and just I don't have to worry about. That's essentially when we work next to each other, is when you need that clone.
But do you find yourself more productive when you're running things yourself, or when you guys are both bouncing ideas off each other, things like that?
Every day we're bouncing ideas off each other.
Yeah.
I worked solo for 10 years, and it took a lot longer to figure out things. Like, you still get there, you gotta make more mistakes, and you gotta stub your toe a lot more often. And once he came back, we were able to, like, even just saying things out loud. But saying things out loud to a lot of people make you sound like a crazy person, because what we do and build is not what most sane people build. So anytime I bounce ideas off of other people, they look at me like I was talking about aliens. That was before aliens were like legitimatized, right? Like, I was like, so now when you talk about rock, you're the crazy person. And having to explain and give people background, it was just a giant, it takes more time than making the mistake of figuring it out yourself. So since he's been back for 3 years, it's just streamlined everything. Now my ideas and dreams and ambitions feel a lot more possible. And it's like, you know that feeling where you just have somebody on your side no matter what? That's been the feeling. It's wonderful. And not, I think, typical for when you're working with family. But we both have the exact same end goal in sight. And that's to maintain, continue the legacy that our parents started. The thing that we have different ideas how we're going to get there. But that's kind of the point. If we both have the exact same ideas, and the exact same thoughts, and the exact same processes, we wouldn't go as far fast. So this way, we get the best of both worlds. I screwed up that bad. And a little bit more shape.
Not to make a conflict here, but are there things that you think that you excel at over Sean and that he excels at over you?
100%.
What might one of those things be?
Not gonna tell. No, Sean is a fantastic artist. He has a very unique style for his art. Like, both of us have, even though he taught me a lot of what I know, very, very different in terms of what our style would be. Which is funny because there's a spectrum of what we would consider like a rockscape style that people would be able to recognize our work, like you would recognize a normal artist's work. And I know we have that, and we both fit within that spectrum. But we're on the opposite sides of that spectrum, and so we choose different shapes, we use different elements in the same way. And so that, like, I've always appreciated his art, his way of looking at things, and his final product. And then we both we build relationships in a different way, right? Sean was bartender for years. Sean went for stand-up comedy. Sean did like very personable type of relationships. And whereas I am only an extrovert when I have to be, and then the moment that I can be an introvert, that's me. So I'm happy to talk to 100 people at a time. And then the moment they leave, I'm so thankful. Even though I had a great time talking to them. So there's like that balance. And we both have, even though, you know, same parents, we both were raised in a business completely differently. Sean was raised as like, you are, it was a bad thing to be the kid of the owner. And whereas I was told never even to tell people that I was the owner, or like that my father was the owner. So I didn't get all the baggage that came with that. So I think that brought up the way that we were trained completely differently. Obviously, long-time employees all knew and that type of thing would spread, but contractors wouldn't know. So we got to have like completely different experiences. I also started with much smaller projects and as like helpers to mom and dad and my other foreman, like on much smaller projects, weekend projects, where Sean started with some of the biggest projects we've ever done. And so I just think we got to come at it from two completely different spectrums and different like timelines to come into the same path at the end. I'm here to close the door. It's quite cold.
I'm shivering away.
Awesome.
You want to go talk to Sean?
Yeah.
And I'll go ask him a question.
So that was Patrick. Let's go see what Sean's up to so far.
What's that?
We have a question.
What's that?
You just recently painted your first piece, right? The
This year,
clock
yeah.
rock, right?
Yeah.
That was the first time ever painted. Is this going to be the second?
No.
No.
Painted a couple times now.
Okay. And how do you feel?
Great. Yeah. I think there was that stigma for a long time where, you know, that was our mom, you know, for like years, like decades, right? So we sort of played to our strengths, and then I didn't view myself as an artist, so there was really no point to jump into that because that was her realm.
Right.
And other than assisting her, I didn't really see the point, right? So, and then once I was back here with Patrick, the paints had changed, you know, so that felt further away from any kind of comfort zone of things that I learned from her. But then you get so busy, and it's kind of like when I was coming up, I started mixing concrete. I started, you know, welding, but never did the art side until, you know, my foreman at the time and some of the other crew were encouraging and pushing me, sometimes not gently, to, you know, just get involved, like get into it and start carving and start stamping and figure it out. Like that's just
So
what
you
you gotta
figured
do.
out you didn't have a background in art, painting, or any of the sort.
I had a background in art in high school, like, but pencil drawing and what I used to like to draw comic books. So it's not really the same at all.
No.
But you know, I guess you get an eye for it, and then obviously through coming up and seeing what our parents were doing and seeing what the crew was doing while I was assisting them,
Right.
you pick it up for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think I wouldn't say in my 20s I was exactly confident in my voice. So now there's nobody else to accept it.
And you said something about you didn't consider yourself an artist, and that's one of the topics that we're gonna have in Vegas is, do you consider yourself an artist? When did you consider yourself an artist, and why did you not, or did you? So they're gonna talk about that, and it's gonna be really interesting, because you think, hey, we're slinging mud. No, they're artists. These are pieces of art that belong in museums and homes forever, for eternity. And we really want to hear what that moment was when they said, hey, I am an artist.
See, like, I was gonna say, like, if this isn't art, then what is?
Exactly.
You know, gorgeous stuff.
Exactly, right? Doesn't have to be on a canvas, doesn't have to be on a piece of paper, on the road, on a wall. It's the same, you know? Everyone is expressing their artistic abilities, and theirs is with concrete and rock and steel and all in between. It's not easy, but beautiful results. So I'm so excited to hear about their journey in becoming artists.
Yeah, what's interesting about that is that you're mimicking like what you see in nature as often as possible. So there's not a lot of like interpretation, right? So I guess that's where it was different, right? When you talk about
the shotcrete artists out there that make nothing from a lump of nothing, right? Like they make everything. Like everything is completely
Not even stamped,
carved.
right? Yeah.
It's not even stamped.
Yeah.
They're building those things, and they're simulating rock, and it's like their view of what rock looks like, and it's like a lot of interpretation. There's sometimes a little bit more abstract than others, and then where we've always had to be like, let's take our ego out of it, and what does that, you know, boulder look like, and then how do I recreate small parts of that, right? Like when we were up at Chelsea and we were doing that wall, well, you saw they had that expansive mountain right next to it. So like, you know, when we bring Jesse on, and he's used to being a shotcreter, and now he has to deal with stamps and carving and basically making it look like he wasn't ever there to begin with, which is an art to itself. He's like, well, what do I do with this? And I'm like, well, you got this piece right here, like just take a section of that and try to copy it, right? Like that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to copy like as much realism as possible. So I think that's where it started, when you hear that because you're not a shotcreter and because you're not doing that interpretation, you're not doing that from nothing, you don't really view yourself as an artist, you're just trying to mimic something.
Right.
And
But once the final touches come in, the fine tuning, the paints, the sprays, the this, the that, it's art. It is art.
you're making a case.
Yep.
I get it. But yeah, no, we just never, it's just not how we were brought up in the industry. It was just not how we viewed it. But now, I mean, I guess you feel more of an artist when you're designing it to begin with. Like, so when you're designing your first feature and you're doing that from scratch and then making it look like the feature that you drew on the paper is when it starts to more feel that way, rather than you're taking somebody else's design and you're making it happen, right?
So out of all your projects you've done in the past, what would you say you have the greatest attachment to, if you do?
I would say,
Lamplighter, right?
yeah, Lamplighter was a big one. I'm probably the most, like, I really love how Lamplighter turned out. I'll say though that, like, I spent 2 years living in Aurelia to make Casino-Rama. So, you know, from your life becomes up there. So that will always, that little area up there will always be pretty special. So yeah, each job has its own, you know, thing, right? Like when we did the Cochrane Polar Bear, like you're only a half hour away from where our parents grew up and where my grandparents have the cottage. So then I got to spend in my 20s another, you know, couple months there up at the cottage, whereas I hadn't been able to do that since I was like 8. So, you know, there's every single job has something special to it that just, you know, makes those fond memories. So yeah, each one is chock full of things, like even the Welland Library, right? To watch the kids run up and interact with it the way that you intended, and like it just kind of gets their imagination sparked while they're about to read all these books about fantasy and whatnot. Like that was special too. Like, so yeah, each one has a cool.
Because I've already, like I've said it before myself, growing up, like the Bat Cave at the ROM was always like the main attraction for kids at the museum, or like the Riverview Zoo in Peterborough. I went there as a teenager, had no idea you guys built it, and that's a big memory of mine.
The biggest one for me is Wonderland. Going there all my life, not even thinking walking past this mountain. How did it get here? I never thought that. I never said, was it always here? I always assumed there's just a giant rock in the middle of, no. But it was actually built from the ground up, and that to me, looking back now as a kid, is amazing. That mountain wasn't there. Like, incredible. Incredible.
And what I'm going at is, like, you guys are literally building people's childhoods.
Exactly.
Like, I had no idea Rockscapes was a thing until I got hired, and now I'm like, holy crap, they built that and that and that.
Isn't it?
You don't realize.
We brag. That was mine. Yeah, they built that.
Exactly.
I think it was pretty neat to see. Somebody did a really nice, I'll have to find it for the Wilderness Ride in Ontario Place, like our first project. And then they walked through it. It was kind of somber music playing, but they showed like the commercials of and their home movies of them going down the water slide with their families, and then played the same section that they were walking through because now it's abandoned. But it was kind of a neat piece. Like I asked her if we could use it in social media a long time ago, and she said yes. But when you're taking that, like this is when I was a kid and I enjoyed this, and then it's so sad to see that it's not running now.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's amazing. I don't think we ever really thought about it until recently, like how many lives were touched and how many people see our work all the time. And back then it was kind of faux pas to really talk about the work that you did. So nobody ever knew it was us.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then I guess now you can't really hide it anyway, so we might as well talk about it.
Yeah.
And now it's coming out, like all these things that people were involved in. West Edmonton Mall, I'd love to hear stats on how many people have been to West Edmonton Mall. Like that's got to be crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy numbers.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, we just got to keep it going and see how many other people we could affect
And animals, don't forget.
And
Yeah, of course.
Animals are our friends.
yeah.
And considering it's the new year, I want to ask, of course, what are some major goals for Rockscapes in 2025?
Dream project. You have a
Dream project. Yeah, 100%. You got to do
Bat Cave this
some
year?
Sort of Bat Cave.
Yeah.
Yeah, there has to be some sort of something like
Yeah.
that. Some, I want to mix the whimsical with the real because we've been doing real a long time. I feel great about it. I think it can go into the thieving element seamlessly, and yeah, now that we're getting with the making things like the 3D printing and making other elements that tie into it, like with the Welland library, making those mushrooms that glow and the little elf house underneath the rock, and like having those sort of elements in there where we get to use fiber optics and cast resins and 3D printing and foliage and everything. Lighting, all the things that come together that layer and really just level up the work. I think that's the stuff that keeps me hungry and that I find very interesting. And it's not just about the work that we have, it's different layers. What?
Hooray! You did a Mila! Hooray!
Are you done? Nice.
Yay! Okay.
I've been done for a while, it's no big deal.
Awesome.
No big deal. No big deal. But what I was thinking is I used some of those tabs, I was going to lag them into the...
Oh.
Otherwise, it's going to be pretty wobbly.
Yeah. Yeah, agreed. That's not a bad idea. The only thing for me is I have to fully stick all my pieces in. Good.
So guys, in case you're tuning in now for the first time, this is the
Sword.
Yes, of course.
Rockscapes of Canada competition, where we're doing some prep for the World of Concrete event, which will be in 17 days from now, so make sure you check that out. If you're going to be there in person, definitely stop by our booth. It is going to be a lot of fun, I can promise you that. We're going to have carving competition, educational talks. It's going to be a blast, so make sure you guys tune in that day. It'll be a 3-day event, so you really got to come see it. What we're doing here is just doing some preparation, making sure that the live stream is going to be working properly while we're there, because 3 days of live streaming kind of implies that something will go wrong, so we're doing a lot of practice tests here, and so far so good. So what we got here is Patrick's steel armature of the soon-to-be artificial rock, and then over there, which we just showed you, is Sean's. Both are looking fantastic so far.
Oh, wonderful.
That's it, everybody. Thank you very, very much for tuning in. Thanks for watching on repeat if you do. For sure, check us out for the full length. You've met Robert now. He's going to be editing this into a nice, actual, digestible size. So if you can't watch the whole live stream, feel free to check out in the future. We will be sure to have this as an actual event or like a normal YouTube video.